the opposition. Who's being irresponsible? Who's not allowing Parliament to function? That big political face-off is my top focus on the Newstrack.
Honorable members, they don't want to participate.
Fiery face-off in Parliament.
मुझे माफ करिएगा मगर आपका टोन जो है
I don't want schooling.
Government versus opposition war explodes.
She has come here as an elected MP and also
Vice President Dhankhar and Jaya Bachchan cross swords. High drama in Rajya Sabha. Opposition states walkout. BJP calls it plot to destabilize India.
बहुत ही असंसदीय, अमर्यादित और
Sansad showdown. That is our big focus on Newstrack.
Also on the Newstrack this evening, there's Superman in the gold. Sreejesh will be joining me from Paris, the man singularly responsible for ensuring that India kept its goal safe. The opponent forwards were kept out. Big role to play. PR Sreejesh, champion goalkeeper of the Indian hockey team, will be joining me from Paris at 8:30 p.m. this evening. Let's get started. Here are the headlines. I'm Pratik. Vinesh Phogat review hearing begins in Paris. The wrestler argues that weight gain happened from natural recovery and that she didn't commit any fraud. Sachin Tendulkar says, give Vinesh the silver. Neeraj Chopra speaks to India today after his historic silver at the Olympics. Neeraj says he tried to throw beyond 90 meters, but it wasn't his day.
आज लगी यहाँ पे बात कि यार आज ही नहीं हो पाया तो कब, मतलब मैंने कभी इस चीज़ के बारे में इतना सोचा नहीं, लेकिन आज ये चीज़ आ रही है मन में, क्योंकि जब मैटर करता है तब वो चीज़, और मैंने एफर्ट पूरा लगाया अपनी तरफ से.
Modi government forms a panel to monitor situation at the Indo-Bangladesh border and ensure safety of Indian nationals and Hindus. Hundreds line up at the border in Cooch Behar. After 17 months in jail, Manish Sisodia walks out on bail. He will meet Arvind Kejriwal's family shortly. Sisodia says his release is a victory of the Constitution. Health concerns mount for Sunita Williams as she continues to be stuck in space. The NASA astronaut faces the risk of bone weakness, radiation exposure. Her return to Earth is not possible before February 2025. The last day of the budget session of Parliament was a fiery one. There was high drama in the Rajya Sabha, with the opposition alleging that they were not being given a chance to speak. The India Alliance MP staged a walkout, accusing Vice President and Rajya Sabha Chairperson Jagdeep Dhankhar of being biased. The BJP has hit back at the opposition, calling the entire episode shameful.
आपका टोन जो है,
My tone, my language, my temper. No! Enough of it! Enough of it! You may be anybody.
massive showdown in Parliament. A fiery face-off between Samajwadi Party MP Jaya Bachchan and Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankhar.
sir, we are colleagues, sir. You may be sitting on the chair.
Jaya ji.
And I remember when I went to school.
Jaya ji, take your seat. Honorable members.
This after Jaya Bachchan objected to Jagdeep Dhankhar's tone while speaking in Parliament.
सर, मैं जया अमिताभ बच्चन ये बोलना चाहती हूँ. मैं कलाकार हूँ, बॉडी लैंग्वेज समझती हूँ, एक्सप्रेशन समझती हूँ. और सर, मुझे माफ करिएगा, मगर आपका टोन जो है is not acceptable. We are colleagues, sir. You may be sitting
Immediately objecting to Jaya's remark, Dhankhar fired back.
An actor is subject to the director. You have not seen what I see from here. Every day, I don't want to repeat. I don't want schooling. I am a person who has gone out of the way. And you say, my tone?
Soon after the sparring, the opposition staged a walkout.
They know how to create.
Opposition parties are planning an impeachment motion under Article 67 against the chairperson in Rajya Sabha. They have started a signature campaign.
एलओपी बोलना चाहते थे पर उनको मना किया गया और बार बार उन्होंने कोशिश की कि बोलने की कि जो सांसद जिस शब्दों का इस्तेमाल किया है एक वरिष्ठ नेता 50 साल का उनका तजुर्बा है अनुभव है उनके बारे में कुछ बातें कहीं जो बहुत आपत्तिजनक थी पर खड़गे जी को बोलने नहीं दिया इसलिए आज सारे विपक्ष पार्टियों ने वॉकआउट किया है प्रश्नकाल का
She has vast experience and she has more parliamentary experience and I beg to differ from what the Vice President said. She comes with vast more experience than the Vice President himself. With all
She has come here as elected MP for 4 times.
Union Minister JP Nadda came to Dhankhar's defense.
आज जो घटना घटी है और जिस तरीके से विपक्ष का व्यवहार रहा है वो बहुत ही असंसदीय अमर्यादित और अनुशासनहीनता व्यवहार रहा है और मर्यादा विहीन व्यवहार उनकी आदत सी हो गई है
This is not the first time Jaya Bachchan has taken on the Rajya Sabha chairman. The MP was upset when she was introduced as Jaya Amitabh Bachchan in the house recently.
सर सिर्फ जया बच्चन बोलते तो काफी हो जाता
यहाँ पूरा नाम लिखा था इसलिए मैंने रिपीट किया
ये जो है कुछ नया तरीका निकला है कि महिलाएं जो है अपने पति के नाम से जानी जाएंगी
Bureau Report, India Today.
And I remember when I went to school.
Jayaji, take your seat. Jayaji, take your seat.
Most typically, those on the chair as the Vice President of India sitting, presiding over proceedings in the Rajya Sabha don't tend to get as involved in the debate itself. They're like the referee, taking what the government is saying, getting the opposition to react, or listening to what the opposition is saying, getting the government to react. They don't typically become participants. Jagdeep Dhankhar is speaking a lot more than recent and past vice presidents. Is he now overdoing this a bit? Is the opposition right in saying that the vice president isn't giving the opposition a fair chance? Or are there things that the opposition needs to look out as well? Because, you know, to attack the chair, ultimately it's a constitutional office, and therefore to attack the chair in this fashion and to say disparaging things isn't right either. Joining us on the Newstrack, I want to welcome first Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson of the BJP. Rakesh Sinha joins us, has been a Member of Parliament of the Rajya Sabha. We've got Juhi Singh from the Samajwadi Party, and Ashutosh is a political columnist, author and analyst. Let me go across to Rakesh Sinha first. Professor Sinha, you know, you've been in the Rajya Sabha. Now, I was in Parliament all day today, and across political lines, including some in the BJP, felt that this is not how voluble the Vice President usually is. Whoever's in the chair is usually far more sober, says far lesser, doesn't take partisan views. That's been the position so far. Jagdeep Dhankhar seems like an active participant in the political contest. Is that out of line, or do you think if the opposition is going to be as pugnacious and as aggressive, it's only inevitable that Jagdeep Dhankhar defend himself and end up saying the kind of things that he is?
All those people who know Sri Jagdeep Dhankhar ji, they know that he is a liberal democratic. He is one of the most learned personalities of this country. And being the chairman of the Rajya Sabha, his role is bipartisan. He does not favor any political party. His role is to rectify the destructive politics which opposition is doing. I am giving one example. When I joined the Rajya Sabha, I got the first call. The day it was notification, which name you would like to be, you'd like to prefer to be called in the Rajya Sabha. I could have told them it is Rakesh Kumar Sinha, Rakesh Sinha, Professor Rakesh Sinha. Whatever the name I propose and I consent, that name is being taken by the chairman. So I think the debate is very futile. If she thinks that her name should be corrected, there is one more chance. She can go to the Rajya Sabha Secretariat and can say that my name should be Jaya Bachchan or Jaya Amitabh Bachchan. If my name is Rakesh Sinha, the chairman is liable to call me as Rakesh Sinha. He cannot say ki Rakesh or Sinha. It is not an informal gathering, it is a formal gathering. So I think such objections are futile. The country which has been witnessing so many issues. Look, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the biggest characteristic is that inequality is reversed. The first time you go to the villages, you go to the remotest area, you can find the changed economic situation.
Okay, so we'll come to the economy in just a moment, but you've made an important point, and I want Juhi Singh to respond to it. Okay.
Just one point, Rahul, one sentence, just let me complete, one sentence. You know, the parliament is a forum to discuss the most vital issues country is facing or country outside the country which is concerned to the country facing. It is Bangladesh, the question of Bangladesh. It's a question of here Waqf Board. The third highest property after army and rail. Waqf Board has the highest property.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. Now, Juhi is saying,
sensitive manner.
Here's the thing. It's members of parliament who tell the office of the chair how they'd like to be referred to. And if, like Harivansh said, if it was written in front of him that Jaya Amitabh Bachchan, and he also mentioned that if you want to get this changed, please tell us, and the office can, through formal process, get this changed. You can be called Jaya Bachchan, no problem. Now, this is just fact, it's procedure. Yet Jaya Bachchan taking umbrage to be called Jaya Amitabh Bachchan, whereas that's the official name that's written in the Rajya Sabha record books at this moment.
Rahul, I think the Rajya Sabha is our assembly of elders, people from various walks of life who've really proved themselves, represent themselves there, and Jaya Bachchan ji, who's been a member of parliament 5 times, made it clear in her own way that in that particular space of the parliament, she would like to be called Jaya Bachchan, not Jaya Amitabh Bachchan ji. And I think that's what she was referred to as earlier. It was about 3 times or 4 times. Sometimes she got it to the public platform in jest, sometimes very seriously. So I cannot understand why this particular way of being sarcastic that she has to be addressed by this name. What was the very important propriety which the chairman was maintaining? I cannot understand. It's beyond my understanding. Of course, there are important matters. Of course, there should be a certain decorum, a certain seriousness to the discussion.
No, but why not follow formal procedure and get the name changed?
I would say that the chairman...
No, 1 second, ma'am. You're not answering my question. Follow process, get the name changed.
That's really up to her. That's really up to her, and she was referring to the chairman who was presiding over the house at that time. So why was the chairman so insistent calling her by that name?
Because that's the name. You just heard what Rakesh Sinha said. He could have given the name Professor Rakesh Sinha or Rakesh Kumar Sinha. If it is written in front of the chair that the name of the member of parliament is Jaya Amitabh Bachchan, go to the office of the chair, get the name changed. It's as simple as that.
Rahul, you can also tell your chairman not to call me by Jaya Amitabh Bachchan, and please, there is no established, I would say, even if it's written in the book, I think that would, that much exchange of, or communication would be established between the chair and the member of the parliament.
Let Sanju Verma respond to this, that on day one,
the prerogative of knowing
Jaya Bachchan already told the chair, at that time it was Harivansh ji, that she didn't want to be called Jaya Amitabh Bachchan, that she wanted to be called Jaya Bachchan. Now, surely after that, it's all, that's the point that Jaya Bachchan makes. It's almost like you're rubbing it in through the tonality. Jaya Amitabh Bachchan. She said, "Bhai, nahi bolo meko Jaya Amitabh Bachchan. Call me Jaya Bachchan." She's told you that. Now listen to what she's saying. Why try and rub it in? Why not be conciliatory at something as simple and basic as that?
You know, Rahul, I heard everybody, and let me make it very clear to you. You know, often I'm told, oh, Sanju Verma personal ho jati hain. Aaj personal hongi danke ki chot par. I normally make data my weapon when I'm on debates as feisty as the ones that you conduct. But today, let me get personal. जब इल्जाम लगा ही है, तो खरे उतरने की जरूरत है.
Okay.
I tell on your channel without any qualms whatsoever, Jaya Bachchan has forgotten that she is no longer Guddi, no longer Anamika, and Rajya Sabha is not her residence, which is named Pratiksha. Point number 2. Jaya Bachchan says she has 5 terms to her credit as a member of parliament. I want to ask Jaya Bachchan, apart from being Battamiz, Baddimag, and apart from having nuisance value, tell me 5 big private member bills that you have introduced, 5 big debates.
Is this not getting personal?
I did not interject you. Shut up. I did not heckle you. Shut up. Thank you.
No, but what's the point that you're making? No, but one second, Sanju, you can say what you will, but you must, no, one second, turn Juhi Singh's audio down. Sanju Verma, listen, you can most certainly finish, but you will answer my question. My question is, here is a lady who's, and you're a woman yourself, and anybody, man, woman, and child, anybody. He says, I would like to be referred as Jaya Bachchan. I don't want to be referred to as Jaya Amitabh Bachchan. She said this on day one. It gets repeated multiple times. That's offensive. That's not right. I mean, just be courteous.
Can I please, Rahul, I noticed the other panelists, and I don't want to play victim card. You either give me time to speak or tell me Sanju Verma consume Fevicol and sit on my show. I will do that willingly. You did not interject anybody.
Ma'am, answer my question. Sanju Verma, answer my question.
Do not keep
yes.
heckling me. I will answer. You asked a question, I have the patience to listen. I'm not here to listen to your bhashan. I will give my answer. You can then interject me post that. There is no question of rubbing it in. As you rightly said in your introduction, Rajya Sabha has a record book where every nominated member of parliament, elected member of parliament, what have you, have their names enlisted, and it is the prerogative, rather the duty of the chair, be it the speaker, be it the vice president in the case of the Rajya Sabha, to address the concerned member of parliament by his or her name, as is mentioned in the official record books. And if Jaya Bachchan ko itni takleef hai at being called Jaya Amitabh Bachchan, Madam, Rajya Sabha has Rule 38, Rule 39, whereby you can undertake an affidavit and say officially that I will be called Jaya Bachchan and not Jaya Amitabh Bachchan. I repeat, Rahul, Jaya Bachchan is a nuisance. She has done nothing.
I don't want this debate to go low. I want to raise the quality of the debate. Ashutosh, you've covered Parliament for a long time in your previous avatar as journalist. Parliament has processes, it has procedures. I can't get in if I don't have a pass ki aap me shakal jante ho, let me go. It doesn't work like that. You need a proper pass to go in, and if your name is written as Jaya Amitabh Bachchan, it's written as Jaya Amitabh Bachchan. There's a process. Rather than playing the victim card, rather than making this about, oh, I don't like your tonality because you're being disparaging towards me, just go to the chair's office and get your name changed.
Rahul, first of all, let me congratulate my friend Rakesh Sinha for being so dignified, so poised, and so polite, forcefully putting his argument. And his argument was heard. When you are shouting at somebody, when heckling somebody, the whole purpose of the argument goes. And that's what exactly has happened in the parliament today. Jaya Bachchan wanted to be called as a Jaya Bachchan. It's a very simple request. Why the chair could not have allowed that? I just fail to understand. This shows there is a total breakdown of communication between the Treasury chair and the opposition. Nothing else. Nothing could be more dangerous for the democracy than the breakdown of communication, and that too between the chair and the parliamentarians. The whole episode could have been done in a more polite manner by just a smile or some jokes cracked, like Harivansh ji has done it earlier. The same issue was there, but Harivansh ji was smiling. Jaya Bachchan also smiled, and the matter ended there. Today, when Jaya Bachchan said कि मैं माफी के साथ कहना चाहती हूं कि आप मुझे आपकी टोन पसंद नहीं आई. Look at the way chairman has reacted. He has gone on a different tangent. Okay. I know how to deal with this. You might be a
Rakesh Sinha, this is an important point Ashutosh makes, that the job of the chair is to keep debate flowing in parliament. You know, you want to just lubricate the conversation. And the way to do it is, okay, ma'am, you don't want to be called Jaya Amitabh Bachchan. I suggest that you go, you meet the office, we'll get it changed. Till then, we'll call you Jaya Bachchan. That you do as courtesy. The moment, despite the lady saying she doesn't want to be called Jaya Amitabh Bachchan, you keep calling her Jaya Amitabh. It's like you're wanting to rub the nose in. You're trying to, just making it very acrimonious between government and the treasury, between government and the opposition benches. Is this being done deliberately? Is the Vice President trying to score political points rather than live up to the position that he currently holds? Rakesh Sinha, you're on mute, I think. Okay, let Sanju Verma respond to this question.
Hello.
Yes, I hear you now, Rakesh Sinha. My question is, the job of the vice chairperson, the job of the president, the vice president is to lubricate the debate. Is the vice president guilty of becoming a participant in the debate? He should just lubricate the debate, just as light touch as possible, rather than jumping in and becoming a full-fledged participant.
No, you know, Vice President Mr. Dhankhar adding and contributing in the debate in a manner so that the rupture which has been taking place in the parliament should be corrected. So I think his knowledge...
No, why should the vice president sitting on the chair participate in the debate? I don't understand this. It's the job of MPs to debate. The vice president isn't a participant in the debate.
I'm coming to the core point. When Ashutosh ji's full name is something else, I don't want to call that name because he declared that he is Ashutosh. Parliament is not an informal gathering, it is a formal process. It is not the chairman who cultivates the name. The name comes from the secretariat. The question
no, I've understood this. You've made this point. I'm now asking the second question. Is the vice president at this time seeming like a participant in the political debate in Rajya Sabha rather than the referee?
No, not at all. Not at all. If he is a knowledgeable person of the Constituent Assembly debate, if he knows the parliamentary proceedings, if he has read every earlier debate, and he is contributing in the process of debate, it is not partisan. If he is quoting the Constituent Assembly, if he is quoting some other convention and he is starting a new convention,
vice presidents didn't do this.
That is
it's not like Venkaiah Naidu and the others were less knowledgeable. They never spoke as much.
No, you have right to compare between the two, but I find Mr. Dhankhar is the most learned person. He is contributing in the parliamentary debate, not as a partisan, but in the process of debate.
Okay, Ashutosh, each person has his own style. Just because Venkaiah Naidu didn't do it or somebody else in the past didn't do it, doesn't mean that Dhankhar can't. There's nothing that stops him. He's trying to do things his own way. He's witty, he's funny, he is learned, he is well read, there's no doubt about it. And he's letting some of his knowledge come through.
See, Rahul, you are moderating the debate. If you start loving your own voice now and then, you will not let us speak. And this is what exactly is happening in the House. No disrespect to the Vice President. But I have seen how Venkaiah Naidu ji has been conducting themselves, how Bhairav Singh Shekhawat has conducted themselves in the same parliament. They command such a huge respect of the opposition. They used to command such huge respect. Why that respect is vanishing today? I think the chairman has to look within also, instead of blaming only to the parliamentarians. Jaya Bachchan is not a new parliamentarian. She has been in the parliament in the last 4 terms.
Sanju Verma, respond to Ashutosh. If the anchor, the moderator, the vice president or the chair of the Rajya Sabha seems to be in love with his own voice, wants to talk more than the MPs. I was in parliament all day and I know that many MPs were saying, "Arey, hame to bolne ka mauka hi nahi milta, wo hi lage hue." They were saying this off camera, but that's a sentiment. Yes, Sanju Verma, respond to that.
Thank you. You know, let me say one thing. Ashutosh is right. The anchors cannot fall in love with their own voices. I can never hold Rahul Kanwal culpable of this because I think he's very fair. Of course, his colleague Rajdeep Sardesai has the bad habit of saying fader down. Put Sanju Verma's fader down. I will not allow her to do cross-talking. Rahul Kanwal thankfully does not suffer from that. Now let me come to the more important point. Do you remember, Rahul, barely few months back, what happened? Kalyan Banerjee, a member of parliament, came out of parliament and in full public view, Sonia Gandhi was standing there, some TMC MPs were standing there, Jaya Bachchan was there, some Samajwadi Party MPs were there. He started mimicking in the most deplorable and despicable manner Jagdeep Dhankhar. And I clearly remember that people like Priyanka Chaturvedi, Jaya Bachchan, Mamta Banerjee, Mahua Moitra, in sabse pucha gaya, why have you not bothered to condemn? What did they say? Arey, Kalyan Banerjee just mimicked Jagdeep Dhankhar in a lighter vein. You mimic the presiding officer, the chair of Rajya Sabha, who's the vice president of India, and you want to be given a free pass.
That's an important point. That's an important point.
My last point, please. Thank you. Do you remember the date? 20th December 2022, Rahul? I'm not trying to ask you a GK question. Please bear with me, Juhi Singh. आपका time आएगा. 20th December 2022. I remember that speech of Mallikarjun Kharge. Rahul, can you please ask her to keep quiet? I don't wish to be rude, but I will not heckle her. I expect her to not get so rattled. Thank you. 20th December 2022.
Shut up on this panel.
Let us speak. No, one second. No, one second. I try and be as fair as I possibly can. Juhi Singh's fader goes down. Allow Sanju Verma 20 more seconds to complete her argument. After that, I move on. Sanju.
Yes. So I want to tell your audience, Rahul, the date was 20th December 2022. Mallikarjun Kharge had already taken over as the Congress president. And this is what he said on the floor of the Rajya Sabha. He said, अरे तुम्हारी पार्टी से तो एक कुत्ता भी नहीं लड़ा था देश के लिए, तुम्हारी पार्टी से तो एक कुत्ते ने भी देश के लिए जान नहीं दी, referring to the BJP.
Okay, I hear what you're saying.
Prime Minister Modi did not castigate him. He simply said, हमारे यहाँ कुत्तों की परंपरा से बातचीत नहीं होती है.
Okay, Juhi Singh, here's the thing. The Vice President of India, Jagdeep Dhankhar, sits on a constitutional post. You know, you may like his style, his mannerisms, or you may dislike them. But a constitutional post requires a certain maryada, a certain decency in how you approach it, and a certain respect, whether you like the person or not. It's a constitutional post. Now, in some of the actions and the words from the opposition, are the opposition leaders not guilty of not providing the very bare minimum courtesy and respect to this chair of the Vice President of India?
Rahul, I've been a spokesperson for SP for 7 years and nobody's ever said shut up to me on a panel when I was not even talking. So I think Ms. Verma owes me an apology.
Your Samajwadi Party leader Akhilesh Yadav tells reporters don't bullshit. उसको जाकर सुनाइए नैतिकता का भाषण.
Okay, one second. Sanju Verma's fader goes down.
So you will say shut up to me. आप जरा चुप रहो, madam. So the chair, of course, requires certain respect and the chair has certain responsibilities also. I think Jaya Bachchan ji has said 4 times that in that space of the parliament she's requesting to be addressed as Jaya Bachchan, not Jaya Amitabh Bachchan. Now, I am not doing personality analysis of the present chairman or the past chairman or whether he is learned, whether he is witty. But if a member of parliament is making a request, I'm sure you can address her by that name. She's been addressed by that name earlier. That's all. And take a hike, Ms. Verma. That's all I want to say.
Okay, I'm out of time. I don't want debates ever to get personal. Let's try and raise the conversation in Parliament and even on the Newstrack. I want to say 2 things in conclusion. One, if you look at this whole session of Parliament, the budget session, there was greater debate and dialogue than there was when the President's address happened when the government was sworn in. That's a good sign that there is an opportunity to speak, that everyone's listening. The government benches were there, the opposition leaders were there. That's a good sign. So net, we've moved on. This is highly acrimonious, completely avoidable. You don't have to get so confrontationist. If Jaya Bachchan says, just call me Jaya Bachchan, call her Jaya Bachchan. Why do you want to Jaya Amitabh Bachchan? If she doesn't like it, and tell her to get it changed. Say, please, by Monday, Tuesday, get this changed. It's as simple. You can find ways around this. And secondly, whoever's in the chair, whether it's a moderator's chair as anchor or as a chair of the Rajya Sabha or even Lok Sabha, should play the role to the extent possible, despite the political hat that they wear. When you're sitting on the chair, try and be as neutral as is possible. Try and give everyone a fair, equal opportunity and follow the same rules for both sides. That is important. That's what we try and do on the Newstrack. That's what anyone sitting in the chair as umpire, as referee must try and do. Let the speaker speak. You speak as little as is possible, as little as is required. I want to thank our guests for joining us on the Newstrack. When we come back, I'm really excited to show you 2 things. One, we'll have Neeraj Chopra soon after his javelin silver, the first athlete to win gold and silver. And then that's the man who saved India, as it were, PR Sreejesh, champion goalkeeper. He'll be joining us from Paris. I'm a huge fan of this rock star goalkeeper. Very excited fanboy moment for me. So I'll have Sreejesh speaking to us on the Newstrack on the other side. Stay with us.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
एक दोस्त है जिससे बात किए बिना हम रह नहीं सकते, बातें घंटों की हों या कुछ सेकंड्स की। ये दोस्त हमेशा हमारी बात सुनता है, क्योंकि हमारा सबसे अच्छा दोस्त भगवान ही तो है। मंगलदीप, दिल से करो बात भगवान के साथ।
Weather easing up now, choppers are being used at the spot to help in bringing in some sort of relief aid and also bringing in personnel on ground.
This is a story of Samidas where he says that 3 of their family members are still missing.
It's really heartbreaking scenes. What we are seeing, some of the family members come here to receive the bodies. Priority right now is to rescue as well. There are many people still stuck and missing.
With video journalist Sachin Chandok, this is Akshita Nandagopal reporting from Wayanad for India Today.
Grounded in journalism, on the ground reporting. Only on India Today TV. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
There's a crucial hearing going on at this moment where Vinesh's appeal is being heard at the Court of Arbitration for Sports. I want to go across to Nikhil Naz, who joins us. He's tracking this hearing very carefully. Nikhil, is there any hope at all that when the CAS gives its ruling that there may be some good news for Vinesh Phogat, or is that highly unlikely, and by when is this ruling likely to come?
Well, Rahul, at the moment, at least there's a glimmer of hope. You'd have to say that the odds are stacked against Vinesh. That's because if you look at the past examples, if the federation has followed the rule book, seldom does the Court of Arbitration for Sport overturn that decision. It's only in areas where there's a bit of ambiguity that they decide to do it. Here they followed the rule book. However, I like the defense and the details of which we shared exclusively on India Today that the Vinesh camp has taken, where they're actually saying that it's a fundamental right to replenish her body, and because of her doing that, that overweight or that slight increase in weight happened, so you should look at it more compassionately. We'll have to wait and watch what the judge does, but overall, I mean, going back by past precedent, it's a very slim chance that that verdict is going to be overturned. As far as when it's going to be announced, it could be announced today itself. The hearing is still on, but it has to be announced by the time the Olympic Games are over, so which is the 11th of this month. So either today or in the next 2 days, you should be able to hear the verdict that the CAS has come up with.
Okay, so hope hangs by a thread, but hang it does at this moment, so we'll see what happens. We've got our fingers crossed. Very little chances, because whatever they say then sets a precedent. It's not just in this case, it becomes a precedent going forward as well. So it has far greater bearing than just this one hearing. So Nikhil Naz and our team of reporters on the ground will track that very carefully. What I want to do now is show you what Neeraj Chopra had to say. I mean, just imagine, champion athlete. He won gold last time at Tokyo. Now he's won silver at Paris. He lost to his friend Arshad from Pakistan. Here is Neeraj Chopra undisputedly India's most successful global athlete after his big win late last night.
The man next to me, if he had a middle name, it would be Neeraj Consistent Chopra. And he spoilt us so much by winning gold medals that when he wins a silver, we feel different. But that is as a compliment, because that's how good he has been for India so far. And we forget that we are a country that hardly wins Olympic medals, let alone individual medals. Firstly, Neeraj, many congratulations with the way you performed. What I want to know from you, कि जब अरशद ने वो फेंका ओलंपिक रिकॉर्ड बनाया, आपने 90 मीटर कभी नहीं डाला था, लेकिन आपके जहन में क्या जा रहा था? मन में था कि कर दूंगा?
शायद आज का वो दिन था और आज ज़रूरत भी थी, पर आज लगी यहाँ पे बात कि यार आज ही नहीं हो पाया तो कब? मतलब मैंने कभी इस चीज़ के बारे में इतना सोचा नहीं, लेकिन आज ये चीज़ आ रही है मन में, क्योंकि जब मैटर करता है तब वो चीज़, और मैंने एफर्ट पूरा लगाया अपनी तरफ से, पर वही है कि कुछ दिक्कतें हैं, कुछ इंजरी की वजह से या कुछ माइंड में जो एक खुल के थ्रो करना चाहिए वो नहीं हो पा रहा था ओलंपिक जैसी जगह पे। फिर भी थ्रो काफ़ी अच्छा लगा है और लगभग सारे ही थ्रो फाउल थे कि थ्रो ना पा। तो वही है कि कंडीशन अपने फेवर में नहीं थी, शरीर भी थोड़ा सा जो होना चाहिए फिट वो नहीं था, फिर भी थ्रो से मैं खुश हूँ कि थ्रो फिर भी ठीक निकल गई। पर जब अरशद ने थ्रो लगाई तो सेकंड थ्रो में मेरे दिमाग में वही था, भले ही मैंने अभी तक 90 मीटर क्रॉस नहीं किया और सभी को लगेगा कि मैं ऐसे बोल रहा हूँ, लेकिन मेरे दिमाग में एक बिलीव था कि मैं आज कर दूँगा। तो आज भी नहीं हुआ, तो अभी वो होना कब है वो देखते हैं, लेकिन कंपटीशन काफ़ी ज़बरदस्त था आज और वही है, कंट्री के लिए मेडल जीतता है तो उसकी खुशी है।
नहीं, हम बहुत प्राउड है। इंडिया पाकिस्तान जब भी कोई मुकाबला होता है किसी भी फील्ड में, हम कहते हैं भाई किसी से भी हार जाओ, पाकिस्तान से ना हारो। आप कभी ऐसी बात सोचते हो या ये सिर्फ बाहर की बातें हैं?
मैं वही कहना चाहूँगा जी अपने देशवासियों से कि ऐसा पहली बार हुआ है जब अरशद के साथ मैं 2016 से खेल रहा हूँ, हमेशा ऊपर वाले ने अपना साथ दिया है, हमेशा। आज पहली बार हुआ है कि अरशद जीता है और स्पोर्ट्स ने हमको ये सिखाया, क्योंकि मैंने जब स्टार्ट किया था तो स्टार्टिंग में वही है, हार के फिर धीरे धीरे जीते, फिर स्टेट में जीते, नेशनल में जीते, फिर इंटरनेशनल तक आए। तो आज शायद अरशद का दिन था और ये हमको एक्सेप्ट करना है। और आज पहली बार ऐसा हुआ है और कंपटीशन भी काफ़ी टफ था, थ्रो भी अच्छी लगाई, लेकिन वही है कि आगे फिर हम खेल लेंगे, फिर ये तो सिलसिला जारी रहेगा और कंपटीशन हमारे होते रहेंगे।
What a humble champion, what an amazing man. Everybody wants to go very aggressive between India and Pakistan. He says, well, the sport stuff happens. I mean, the guy, I've beaten him hundreds of times. He was the better man on the day. After winning a silver in Paris, Neeraj Chopra's coaching staff is going to change quite a bit. His management team spoke exclusively to India today on the next steps for India's champion Olympian. Here is Manisha Malhotra in conversation with India Today.
Okay, Neeraj Chopra, I still call him the golden boy, even though he's got a silver here, because in our history, we've only got that one track and field gold, which Neeraj has given us. With me are two people who work very closely with him. Manisha Malhotra, Head of Sports Excellence at JSW Sport, and of course Parth Jindal, the founder of JSW Sport. And not just Neeraj, they support a host of other athletes that were participating at the Olympic Games. I'll start with you, Parth, on this one. Neeraj, how is he feeling at the moment? The thing is, expectations are so high, we tend to forget that we barely get any medals and we got one silver. But how's Neeraj feeling at the moment?
I think Neeraj is very disappointed and a bit devastated because he was not very happy with the way he threw yesterday. I think he's more all about process, and he's all about how he feels when he throws. I don't think the result itself is what is bothering him. I think it's the fact that he was not in his best rhythm. And I feel that because when he came up, when I was in the crowd yesterday, when he came up to me, I screamed out for him, and he came up and I said, शाबाश नीरज, बहुत अच्छा किया है. He said, भैया बहुत काम बाकी है, बहुत काम करना है और आज लगी नहीं. तो I said, नहीं बहुत अच्छा किया. He said, नहीं भैया लगी नहीं आज. So he even though he won a silver, he was not very happy. That says something about his mindset, and it's no doubt in my mind that it's this mindset of his that makes him a champion.
All right, very interesting. Manisha, those, as he talks about that, Neeraj also, I spoke to him, he said that rhythm wasn't there. Those foul throws, barring the one that he got, were they an indication that today or yesterday his rhythm wasn't quite there, or was that part of a larger strategy?
No, I mean, I think that after the second throw being a 92.97 in the second round, it changes the whole perspective. And the Klaus told me that he's never seen Neeraj fight the way he fought yesterday. And it was sheer experience and literally grit to pull out that 89. Because what happened after that is that he just started forcing throws. And so if you see, Neeraj never usually gets those belly ups. And that is, I mean, from the first throw, I don't know, you were not near me, but from the first throw, it didn't look so good because I knew he couldn't control the release angle was not his normal release angle. And then when you add this whole 92.97 element to it, it just becomes a big fight and a force. And at that point, there's a lot of things going through an athlete's mind. And of course, for Neeraj, there was no doubt that he didn't think that he could do it. So that was not the problem. But then you're really kind of forcing that, and it never comes when you force it. And if you saw the way Nadeem threw, it was literally like effortless. And it was similar to Neeraj's qualification throw, which he was not expecting an 89 and not going for an 89. But that's what it is. And to be able to have that effortlessness in a time of ultimate pressure, that's like that elusive thing, and it comes and it goes, and it's amazing, but it's magic.
Yeah, it is. It was magical, actually, the entire competition. But you're talking about his resolve. In the interview, he mentions that as soon as Nadeem threw that 92.97, he said there were murmurs within the athletes. The gold is done. He said, I was the only one who said no. It's not done. I'm not giving up. I'm going for it. I've not done 90, but I'm going for it. Okay, on the larger thing, since we spoke to him last evening, he mentioned that, about 40% of his focus is also on that groin injury. He doesn't want to aggravate it. So he wants to be completely free of that. And he thought that maybe, because that was too early right after the competition, but going forward, he wanted to think about what needs to be done as a long-term solution. Have you guys thought about it? And because, you're going to be his backroom staff. Any thoughts about that? What should be the future?
I think Manisha can.
Yeah, well, lots of thoughts, because there's a lot going to change for Neeraj right now. Obviously, surgery was the only thing that's going to fix that issue. And it's not a groin. The pain remanates into the groin, but it's a hernia issue. And it's not a major surgery. It's literally like a separation that needs to be stitched together. It was an option on the cards last year, which he didn't want to take a chance before the Olympics. So he said, I'll manage.
Okay, so that was Manisha Malhotra and Parth Jindal speaking to India Today. I want to go across now to PR Sreejesh, India's champion goalkeeper. He announced his retirement at the end of the Olympics. He's joining us now from Paris. For all the joy that you gave us, for being like a rock, like a real chatan in the goal. Thank you so much. When I was growing up, it wasn't very pleasant watching Indian hockey. We'd often end up getting beaten quite badly by the big teams. You beat Australia, came very close to beating Germany. 2 medals in 2 Olympics, clearly no fluke. Do you think that Indian hockey is on the way back to Achhe Din, or are Achhe Din already here in your view?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rahul bhai. I mean, we are working hard to get back into that track seriously, because we all know that Indian hockey got a very rich history in Olympics, and definitely every time when we step on this field, that history forces us to do better, and it demands our best performance every time. And I think that the team is realizing that, and what we done in Tokyo, we when we reached here in Paris, we were hoping to get a better medal than what we got last time. But still, I hope that getting a medal is far important than coming back home with an empty hand. So I believe that this is the journey. We started it, and I just give this responsibility to the youngsters. You just need to carry on with this, because LAs are too close, and we just need to continue with our history, with our golden days back.
You are far and away the best goalkeeper on show, arguably in the whole tournament across all teams. When you're in such good form, for everyone who's watching, they're all wondering, why is Sreejesh retiring? I mean, he can go on. You're far from looking old, feeling old, letting balls go through. So why retire at this time?
See, that's the best part. You asked me why, and that is what I wanted, because the best advice which I got is like, Sri, when you retire, people should ask you why. people should not ask why not. So I think now you ask me why, I think this is the right time to say goodbye to this game.
You know, I want to ask you about that big semi-final against Germany. India was very competitive. We were arguably the more skillful, more flamboyant team, and yet somehow in the end we just couldn't find a way of putting it past the Germans. When you look back at that match, you know, how close do you think we came to winning? Could we have done something differently? Because that team that went out that day was really, really good. They had belief, they had confidence. You know, what was the difference between being in the finals and ultimately not reaching the finals?
The first difference is like the color of the medal, for sure, because being in the finals or fighting the Netherlands for the gold, I mean, like, no, it was like, I don't know, I dreamed about that a lot, but couldn't happen. But the difference in the semis is all about goals, because we got opportunities, we couldn't convert it, and they got opportunity, they converted it. So that's made the difference. And I think we regret about that semi-finals, but still we find the happiness in this bronze medal.
You know, we got gold at Tokyo, we got bronze at Tokyo, bronze at Paris. What do we need to do to bridge the gap between bronze and gold at LA? When you look at the team, its performance, where do you think we're lacking? I mean, for example, we have only Harmanpreet as our drag flicker. After a while, it seemed he got predictable. Teams could read, particularly the Germans, what he was likely to do, and they were prepped for that. Maybe some more variety there would be very helpful. We had great skill, lots of good hockey, dribbling and skill, but we still ended up third twice over. What do we need to go? What do we need to do to go from bronze now to gold next time?
The first thing is that we need more Harmans. So we can't rely on one Harman. We need more Harmans in the team. That's really important, because opposition team always analyze, they do have a plans for the best player in the team. So so you should get more Harmans into the team. That is really important. Second thing is defense. You cannot give away silly PCs, or you cannot give away easy goals to the oppositions. So I believe that these two things, I mean, score more goals and concede less. That's the easiest mantra to win a match. So I believe that the way the team played, definitely we deserve to be there in the finals, but we couldn't. But I believe that in LA, definitely these people will make it to the finals.
What's next for you? What's on your radar? I hope you'll be training lots of mini Sreejeshes so you can pass on everything you've learned to the next generation of goalkeepers.
See, when the time change, we need to change. That's really important, and I think we adapted with the AstroTurf, because on the grass it's more about individual skillful things. But AstroTurf, you need to pass the ball really fast, or you need to physically play the game. From Jose Braza, the first international coach to Indian hockey, I think we started to learn the way of European style of hockey, or we try to mix up the hockey, the structure of Indian hockey into mixture of European and Australian style more attacking hockey. So I think we get into a blend now, where Indian hockey is playing a fantastic, what we should say, a great game. I mean, in the modern hockey, and we need to change. I mean, we can't rely on what we've done before. We just need to be updated.
Sure, no, most certainly we need to, and whatever else it is that you do. I know you've just been announced as the coach of the junior hockey team, which is fantastic, but I also hope that you'll be dancing a lot more. You've got more time. Your dance videos always go viral. So as you practice, teach, that dance that's on our screen right now, I hope there'll be a lot of time for dance moves too.
Now, a bit of family time. I want to spend some time with them. Then definitely back to coaching for sure, because I had enough experience with a lot of coaches. I learned. I played this game for the last 24 years. I've seen a lot of up and downs in my career. So I believe that I need to share that with the young generation. So I will come back for sure.
Well, Sreejesh, you deserve to dance, you deserve to party for the joy that you've given all of us Indian hockey fans over the last 2 decades. Thank you very much. You've really been the rock. You'll be missed very dearly. But I just hope very quickly you can train up lots of mini Sreejeshes so that we have mini yous in the goal on our part, wherever it is that we're playing, whether it's juniors or the seniors later. Thank you very much. Big fanboy moment for me to have you with us on this broadcast. Thank you for the joy. Thank you for your skill. And thank you for being a true champion. This is where I wrap up the Newstrack tonight. For your time and your trust, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you 8 p.m. in the evening. Till then, from all of us here, bye, good night.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
एक दोस्त है जिससे बात किए बिना हम रह नहीं सकते, बातें घंटों की हों या कुछ सेकंड्स की। ये दोस्त हमेशा हमारी बात सुनता है, क्योंकि हमारा सबसे अच्छा दोस्त भगवान ही तो है। मंगलदीप, दिल से करो बात भगवान के साथ।
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
Hi, I am AI anchor Sana, bringing the top headlines for you, presented by Motorola. Jagdeep Dhankhar and Jaya Bachchan spar in Rajya Sabha. Jaya objects to Dhankhar's tone. Politics erupts over Rajya Sabha seat proposal to Vinesh Phogat. FIR against Pooja Khedkar's father in Pune for obstructing government work.
सिर्फ एक मैसेज जो दिया है उन्होंने कहा है कि हिंदुओं की सुरक्षा हो, बल्कि एक कठोर जवाब देना चाहिए कि जिस तरीके से रोज़ हमले हो रहे हैं हिंदू घरों में, हॉस्टल्स में, मंदिरों में, तो उस पर कोई कार्रवाई की जाए और हमारे हिंदू भाई बहन जो वहाँ पे प्रताड़ित हैं उनके लिए किसी तरीके की सुविधा दी जाए, जहाँ वो अगर देश आना चाहें देश में आए या वहाँ पर किसी हर तरीके से उनका बचाव हो।
सरकार को इनसे बात करनी चाहिए और कड़ाई सख्ती के साथ इससे बात करनी चाहिए कि वहाँ कोई भी वहाँ पे हिंदू परिवार या हिंदू कोई भी मंदिर के साथ कोई भी तोड़फोड़ ना हो और सख्ती के साथ कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए। ये प्रधानमंत्री से बात करनी चाहिए। एक भी व्यक्ति या हमारे वहाँ जानहानि ना हो, वहाँ एक भी धार्मिक स्थल पर कोई भी तोड़फोड़ ना हो, पूरी सख्ती और ताकत के साथ प्रधानमंत्री जी को उसका विरोध करना चाहिए।
उनको जिस तरह से बिना सबूत के इतने लंबे समय तक जेल में रखने का षड्यंत्र हुआ, एजेंसियों का दुरुपयोग हुआ, आज वो सारा षड्यंत्र पर्दाफाश हो गया। संजय सिंह जी की जमानत, उसके बाद मनीष सिसोदिया जी की जमानत और दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को भी ट्रायल कोर्ट और सुप्रीम कोर्ट से जमानत मिल चुकी है। सीबीआई का इन्होंने षड्यंत्र करके नया फंदा नहीं डाला होता तो वो भी आज बाहर होते। तो निश्चित रूप से दिल्ली के लोगों के लिए खुशी की खबर है और इससे काफी कार्यकर्ताओं में, लोगों में एक सकारात्मक ऊर्जा का संचार हुआ है और हमें भरोसा है कि जल्दी सभी नेता जेल से बाहर होंगे और पूरी मजबूती के साथ हम काम भी करेंगे, पूरी मजबूती के साथ चुनाव लड़ेंगे।
हमें उम्मीद है कि सबको न्याय मिलेगा और खासकर आप पार्टी के जितने नेता जेल में हैं, अरविंद केजरीवाल, उन्हें भी न्याय मिलेगा। हमें उम्मीद है कि सबको न्याय मिलेगा और खासकर आप पार्टी के जितने नेता जेल में हैं, अरविंद केजरीवाल, उन्हें भी न्याय मिलेगा।
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
एक दोस्त है जिससे बात किए बिना हम रह नहीं सकते, बातें घंटों की हों या कुछ सेकंड्स की। ये दोस्त हमेशा हमारी बात सुनता है, क्योंकि हमारा सबसे अच्छा दोस्त भगवान ही तो है। मंगलदीप, दिल से करो बात भगवान के साथ।